The unexpected transfer. The gleaming spires of Galactic University pierced the pale lavender sky of Nexus Prime, a testament to the collaborative efforts of 100 different species. The sprawling campus buzzed with activity as students from across the known universe hurried to their classes, a kaleidoscope of colors, shapes, and sizes. Amidst this cosmic tapestry, a single figure stood out, not for its alienness, but for its startling familiarity. Zara Chen, a human girl barely out of her teens, clutched her orientation packet with trembling hands as she gazed up at the towering central administration building. Her dark eyes, wide with wonder and trepidation, reflected the swirling bioluminescent patterns that adorned the structure's facade. "I can't believe I'm really here," Zara whispered to herself, her voice lost in the cacophony of alien languages surrounding her. She took a deep breath, filling her lungs with the slightly sweet air of Nexus Prime, and steeled herself for what lay ahead. As Zara made her way towards the building, she couldn't help but notice the curious stares and hushed whispers that followed in her wake. Some aliens recoiled at the sight of her, while others leaned in, fascinated by her appearance. A group of Zephyrians, their gossamer wings shimmering in the sunlight, pointed at her and giggled behind translucent hands. Zara felt her cheeks burn with embarrassment. She knew she'd be a novelty. After all, she was the first human to ever attend Galactic University. But she hadn't anticipated feeling quite so alien. Inside the administration building, Zara approached a holographic information kiosk. "Welcome to Galactic University," it chirped in a melodious voice. "Please state your name and species for registration." "Zara Chen," she replied, her voice quavering slightly. "Human." The kiosk fell silent for a moment, its display flickering. "Error. Species human, not found in database. Please try again." Zara's heart sank. Of course, they wouldn't have humans in their system yet. She was about to speak again when a warm, resonant voice interrupted. "Ah, you must be our new transfer student." Zara turned to see a tall, willowy being with iridescent skin and 4 arms approaching her. The alien's eyes, all 6 of them, crinkled in what Zara hoped was a smile. "I am Professor Xylith, Dean of Interspecies Relations," the being said, extending 2 of its hands in greeting. "We've been eagerly anticipating your arrival, Ms. Chen. You're making history today." Zara shook the professor's hands, marveling at their silky texture. "Thank you, Professor. I'm honored to be here, but I'm afraid your system doesn't recognize humans yet." Xylith waved a hand dismissively. "A mere technicality. We'll have that sorted out in no time. Come, let me show you to your dormitory and introduce you to your roommate." As they walked across the campus, Xylith explained the layout and basic rules of Galactic University. Zara tried to absorb it all, but her attention kept wandering to the incredible sights around her. A group of rock-like Petrosapiens were engaged in what looked like a game of catch with a glowing energy ball. In a nearby garden, a cluster of plant-based florins were communing with the local flora, their tendrils intertwined with the alien vegetation. "Here we are," Xylith announced, stopping in front of a sleek, curved building. "Dormitory Epsilon 9. Your room is on the 3rd floor." They entered the building and took a gravity lift to Zora's floor. As the door slid open, Zara came face to face, or rather, face to tentacles, with her new roommate. "Zara, this is Lux Arna," Xylith said. "She's a cephalopodian from the ocean world of Aquarius IV." Lux Arna's body was a swirl of blues and purples, her ape tentacles moving gracefully as she floated in a personal hydrofield. Her large, intelligent eyes studied Zora with undisguised curiosity. "Greetings, Zora of Earth," Lux Arna said, her voice bubbling through her hydrofield translator. "I look forward to learning about your species." Zara smiled nervously. "It's nice to meet you too, Lux Arna. I hope we can become friends." After helping Zara settle in and answering a few more questions, Professor Xylith bid them farewell. "Your classes start tomorrow, Zora. Remember, you're not just a student here. You're an ambassador for your entire species. Make us proud." As the door closed behind Silith, Zara sank onto her bed, the reality of her situation finally sinking in. She was light years from home, surrounded by beings she'd only ever dreamed of meeting. The weight of responsibility settled on her shoulders like a heavy cloak. "Are you experiencing distress?" Lux Arna asked, her tentacles curling with concern. "Your epidermis is secreting moisture at an increased rate." Zara wiped her brow, realizing she'd been sweating. "I'm okay, just a little overwhelmed. This is all so new." Lux Arna's body pulsed with soft, soothing colors. New experiences can be daunting, but they are also opportunities for growth. "Perhaps you would like to accompany me to the dining hall. Consuming nutrients might improve your emotional state." Grateful for the offer, Zara nodded and followed Lux Arna out of the room. The dining hall was a massive, open space filled with various atmospheric bubbles to accommodate different species' needs. Zara marveled at the array of foods on offer, some recognizable, others completely alien. As they found a table, Zara became aware of the stares and whispers around her. A group of insectoid aliens at a nearby table were clicking their mandibles rapidly, their compound eyes fixed on her. "They're discussing your bilateral symmetry and endoskeletal structure," Lux Arna translated helpfully. "Many find it quite fascinating." Zara picked at her food, her appetite diminished by the constant attention. "Is it always going to be like this?" she asked quietly. Lux Arna's tentacles waved in what Zara interpreted as a shrug. "You are the first of your kind here. Novelty breeds curiosity. In time, they will adjust to your presence." As they finished their meal, a commotion near the entrance caught their attention. A tall, reptilian alien with gleaming scales and sharp claws was arguing loudly with a staff member. "What do you mean, a human is attending our university?" The alien hissed, its forked tongue flicking angrily. "Humans are barely out of their stone age. They have no place among us." Zara felt her face flush with anger and embarrassment. She stood up, ready to confront the alien, but Lux Arna gently restrained her with a tentacle. "That is Zextor, a draconian," Lux Arna explained. "His species is known for their prejudice against younger races. It would be unwise to engage him directly." Zara sat back down, her hands clenched into fists. "But he's wrong about us. Humans have achieved so much in such a short time. We deserve to be here as much as anyone else." Lux Arna's eyes sparkled with interest. "Then perhaps the best way to change minds is not through confrontation, but through demonstration. Show them what humans are capable of, Zara. Let your actions speak louder than their prejudices." As they left the dining hall, Zara's mind raced with determination. Tomorrow would be her first day of classes, her first real chance to prove herself. She may be just one human girl, but she carried the hopes and dreams of her entire species with her. That night, as Zara lay in bed listening to the gentle sloshing of Lux Arna's hydrofield, she made a promise to herself. She would not just survive at Galactic University, she would thrive. And in doing so, she would open the eyes of the galaxy to the true potential of humanity. Little did Zara know that her journey at Galactic University would not only change her life, but would also set in motion events that would reshape the very fabric of intergalactic society. The impact of one human girl's arrival was about to ripple across the cosmos in ways no one could have predicted. Breaking barriers. The first week at Galactic University proved to be a whirlwind of new experiences for Zara. Each day brought fresh challenges and marvels, testing her adaptability and resolve. As she navigated the complex web of alien social norms and academic expectations, Zara found herself both exhilarated and exhausted. Her classes were a mix of fascinating and frustrating. In xenobiology, Zara excelled, her unique perspective on life bringing fresh insights to discussions. However, in advanced quantum mechanics, she struggled to keep up with concepts that her alien classmates seemed to grasp intuitively. It was during one such challenging class that Zara's fortunes began to change. Professor Quix, a being of pure energy contained within a hovering metallic sphere, was lecturing on the intricacies of trans-dimensional travel. And so, by inverting the polarity of the quantum flux, the professor's melodious voice trailed off as he noticed Zora's furrowed brow. "Ms. Chen, you seem perplexed. Is there an issue with the material?" Zara felt the eyes of the entire class upon her. She swallowed hard, fighting the urge to shrink into her seat. "I'm having trouble visualizing the concept, Professor. In human education, we often use analogies to understand complex ideas. I was wondering if there might be a simpler way to explain it." A ripple of amusement passed through the class. Zextor, the draconian who had caused a scene in the cafeteria, sneered from his seat. "Perhaps if the concept is too difficult for your primitive mind, you should return to studying basic arithmetic," he hissed. Professor Quix's sphere pulsed with a soft, calming light. "An interesting suggestion, Ms. Chen. Can you propose an analogy that might help you understand?" Zara took a deep breath, her mind racing. "Well, what if we think of dimensions as sheets of paper stacked on top of each other? To travel between them, we'd need to fold the paper so 2 points touch, then punch a hole through both sheets." The classroom fell silent. Then, to Zora's surprise, Professor Quix began to vibrate with excitement. "Excellent. A crude simplification, but remarkably accurate for an impromptu analogy. In fact, this visualization might help clarify the concept for several species present. Well done, Ms. Chen." As the class continued, Zora noticed a shift in the atmosphere. Several of her classmates were looking at her with newfound respect, and even Zextor seemed begrudgingly impressed. After class, a Voxian named Zyle approached Zora, his fox-like features animated with enthusiasm. "That was amazing," he chirped, tail swishing. "I've been struggling with trans-dimensional theory all semester, but your paper analogy made it click. Would you be interested in forming a study group?" Zora's face lit up with a smile. "I'd love to. I could definitely use some help in other subjects too." Word of Zora's innovative thinking spread quickly through the university. Soon, she found herself at the center of a diverse study group, exchanging knowledge and perspectives with beings from across the galaxy. As she helped her alien classmates understand complex theories through simple human analogies, they in turn helped her grasp advanced concepts using their own unique ways of thinking. But it wasn't just in academics that Zara began to shine. During a recreational anti-gravity ball game, she surprised everyone with her agility and spatial awareness. The human ability to quickly assess three-dimensional space and predict trajectories, skills honed through millennia of evolution on a planetary surface, gave her a distinct advantage in the Zerog environment. "How are you doing that?" gasped Luxarna, her tentacles tangled in confusion as Zora effortlessly weaved through the floating obstacles. Zara laughed, executing a perfect backflip to catch the glowing ball. "I guess growing up with gravity has its perks." As Zora's confidence grew, so did her willingness to share human culture with her new friends. She introduced them to Earth music, and soon the dormitory was filled with the sounds of everything from classical symphonies to pulsing electronic beats. She taught them human games and sports, adapting the rules to accommodate various alien physiologies. One evening, as Zora was teaching a group of friends to play chess, Professor Hylith stopped by to observe. "Fascinating," the dean mused, watching as Zora explained the movement of the knights to a puzzled Petrosapian. "A game of strategy and foresight, yet also a reflection of your species' hierarchical social structures. Most illuminating." Zora beamed with pride. "It's just one of many human games, Professor. Each one tells a story about our history and way of thinking." Silith's eyes crinkled in a smile. "You're doing remarkably well, Zora. Your presence here has already begun to change perspectives. Keep it up." However, not everyone was thrilled with Zora's growing popularity. Zextor and a group of like-minded aliens watched her progress with mounting concern. They saw the humans' influence as a threat to the established order of the university, and by extension, the galaxy. One day, As Zara was heading to the library, she found her path blocked by Zextor and his cronies. "You may have fooled the others with your quaint little tricks," Zextor snarled, his scales gleaming menacingly. "But we see through you. Humans have no place here among the advanced races of the galaxy. You're a dangerous anomaly, and we'll make sure everyone knows it." Zara stood her ground, her heart pounding but her voice steady. "We have every right to be here, Zextor. Humanity has a lot to offer the galaxy and a lot to learn. Isn't that what this university is all about? Coming together, sharing knowledge, growing beyond our limitations." Zextor's eyes narrowed. Pretty words, but they change nothing. "Watch your step, human. Your kind isn't welcome here." As Zextor and his group slithered away, Zara leaned against the wall, letting out a shaky breath. She knew she had made progress, but she also realized that she had a long way to go in changing some minds. Determined not to let the encounter shake her resolve, Zara continued to the library. As she immersed herself in her studies, an idea began to form. If she could create something that combined human ingenuity with alien technology, something that demonstrated the potential of cooperation between species, perhaps she could change even the most stubborn minds. With renewed purpose, Zara dove into her research. She would prove that humanity deserved its place among the stars, not through force or argument, but through innovation and collaboration. As the first term at Galactic University drew to a close, Zara found herself at a crossroads. She had made friends, impressed professors, and begun to carve out a place for herself in this alien world. But she had also made enemies and faced prejudices she never imagined existed. The real test was yet to come. With the announcement of the upcoming xenobiology practical exam, Zara knew she would have to put everything she had learned to the test. It was an opportunity to showcase human adaptability and problem-solving skills on a galactic stage. Little did she know that this exam would not only challenge her abilities, but also set in motion a chain of events that would shake the foundations of Galactic University and beyond. The stage was set for Zara to make a discovery that would forever change the way the galaxy viewed humanity. As she prepared for bed that night, Zara gazed out her window at the unfamiliar constellations of Nexus Prime. Somewhere out there, Earth continued its lonely orbit around the sun, unaware of the impact its daughter was having light years away. Zara made a silent promise to her home planet and to herself. She would make humanity proud, no matter the obstacles she faced. The journey ahead would be challenging, but Zara was ready. She had broken through the initial barriers, but the true test of her resilience and ingenuity was yet to come. The xenobiology incident loomed on the horizon, promising to push Zara to her limits and beyond. A new era of understanding. The grand auditorium of Galactic University buzzed with anticipation. Beings from across the cosmos had gathered for this momentous occasion, the graduation ceremony of the most diverse class in the institution's history. At the center of it all, barely containing her excitement, sat Zara Chen, the first human to ever graduate from this prestigious intergalactic academy. As she waited for her name to be called, Zara's mind wandered back over the incredible journey that had brought her to this point. The challenges she had faced, the friendships she had forged, and the barriers she had broken down seemed almost surreal now. The xenobiology incident, which had nearly ended in disaster, had instead become a turning point. Zara's quick thinking and unique human perspective had not only saved lives, but had also led to groundbreaking discoveries in interspecies medicine. Her actions that day had earned her the respect of even her harshest critics. The Intergalactic Science Fair had been another pivotal moment. Zara's project, a revolutionary communication device that bridged the gap between vastly different alien physiologies, had won first place. More importantly, it had sparked a new wave of collaborative research across species lines. But perhaps the most significant change had been in the attitudes of her fellow students and faculty. The once skeptical aliens now looked to Zara, and by extension, humanity, with newfound respect and curiosity. "Zara Chen of Earth," Dean Silith's melodious voice called out, snapping Zara back to the present. As Zara rose and made her way to the stage, a wave of applause washed over her. She saw Lux Arna, her tentacles shimmering with pride, and Zil, his bushy tail wagging furiously. Even Zextor, who had once been her fiercest opponent, nodded in grudging respect. "Ms. Chen," Silith said, all six eyes twinkling, "you came to us as an experiment, the first of your kind to join our ranks. You leave us as a pioneer, having not only excelled in your studies, but having changed the very fabric of our institution." Zara accepted her diploma, her hand trembling slightly as she grasped the holographic projection. "Your presence here has ushered in a new era of understanding," Silith continued. "You have shown us that the strength of a species lies not in its technological advancement or its age, but in its capacity for growth, adaptation, and collaboration." As Zara turned to face the audience, she saw not just her classmates, but a sea of faces representing the future of intergalactic relations. Ambassadors from various worlds, drawn by the stories of the remarkable human student, had come to witness this historic moment. "Thank you all," Zara began, her voice strong and clear. "When I first arrived here, I was afraid that I wouldn't measure up, that humanity wasn't ready for this grand cosmic stage. But what I found here was not judgment, but opportunity. Not isolation, but connection." She paused, looking out at the diverse crowd. "Each of us, regardless of our origin, has something unique to offer. It's our differences that make us stronger when we come together. Humanity may be young in galactic terms, but we are eager to learn, to grow, and to contribute to this amazing intergalactic community." As Zara spoke, she could see her words resonating with the audience. The alien ambassadors nodded in agreement, and several were already engaged in hushed, excited conversations. "Today marks not just my graduation, but the beginning of a new chapter for humanity and for all of us," Zara concluded. "Together, we can unlock potentials we've never dreamed of. The stars are not just our destination, they're our shared home. Let's explore them together." The auditorium erupted in thunderous applause. As Zara made her way back to her seat, she was stopped by a tall, distinguished-looking human in a crisp uniform. "Ms. Chen," the man said, extending his hand, "I'm Admiral Ko from Earth's newly formed Interstellar Relations Department. Your achievements here have opened doors we never thought possible. We'd like to offer you a position as humanity's first official ambassador to the Galactic Council." Zara's eyes widened in surprise and delight. I'd be honored, Admiral." As the ceremony concluded, Zara found herself surrounded by well-wishers, classmates, professors, and even some of the alien ambassadors. Plans were already being made for exchange programs, joint research initiatives, and diplomatic missions. Lux Arna glided up to Zara, her tentacles forming the approximation of a hug. "You've done it, Zara," she burbled happily. "You've changed everything." Zara smiled, feeling a mix of pride and humility. "We've done it, Lux Arna, all of us together." As the celebrations continued into the night, Zara took a moment to step outside. She gazed up at the starry sky of Nexus Prime, marveling at how far she had come. Somewhere out there was Earth, no longer isolated, but now an integral part of this vast, wondrous galactic community. The path ahead would not be easy. There would be challenges to face, misunderstandings to overcome, and new frontiers to explore. But Zara knew that humanity was ready. They had earned their place among the stars, not through force or advanced technology, but through curiosity, adaptability, and the willingness to learn and grow. As a shooting star streaked across the alien sky, Zara made a silent wish. Not for herself, but for the future. A future where species from across the cosmos would work together, learn from each other, and explore the infinite wonders of the universe as one united galactic family. The story of humanity's integration into the galactic community was just beginning, and Zara Chen, once a nervous transfer student, now stood at the forefront of this new era, The impact of one human girl's arrival had indeed rippled across the cosmos, ushering in a new age of understanding, cooperation, and shared discovery. As Zara turned to rejoin the celebration, she knew that the greatest adventures still lay ahead. The universe was vast, full of mysteries and marvels beyond imagination. And now, thanks to the bridges she had helped build, humanity would explore it hand in hand, or tentacle in hand, with their new alien friends. The future, like the stars above, shone bright with possibility.